Hello. Welcome to another one of our Pure Data / Unity streams, where every week myself and Jan Sesnick alternate between or take turns implementing the audio for this strange Unity project I've built. So I'm going to start as usual by just quickly running through the project just to see where we are. Here we go. So I know one of the things, so we can basically, we can play through this melody backwards and forwards, or kind of jump about. Still a bit of a bug here where the door is hidden to begin with, so it still counts as a collision for Barbalith, so that's something I'm going to need to fix at some point. It's all fallen creature. There we go, so we've got Barbalith's drone, and then whispers whenever Barbalith is secluded. And the music's the bird. Dog with us. I think the other thing Jan did last week is work on the door sounds. A bit different this week. But we'll hear them properly as I walk down this corridor. Still a wee bit of a crackling to those sounds. Yeah, I wonder what that is. Oh, I like how when you get to this end, I guess there's some like kind of noise at the start of that sound file that Jan's getting through a granulator. That's neat, I like that. Okay, so this is the last scene that neither of us has really worked on yet. So I think what I want to do this week is I want to focus on this scene. I know Jan has some plans, but I think I have some ideas that I think will fit in with. I mean, I don't know what Jan's planning, but I have some ideas that I think can potentially fit in with what he's doing. So what I want to do this week, I want to do something a bit different. Instead of focusing on the pure data side of things, I'm going to focus on the Unity side of things. Because so far, most of what we've been doing in terms of audio, there's been some code in terms of like sending like occlusion signals to patches, but we've not really taken advantage of Unity's own audio engine. All we've really been doing is, let's see if I grab Barbalith, is just making use of kind of the standard audio source component, which is fair enough. Like that is the main thing you do in Unity if you're wanting to work with audio. But Unity does have a few other tricks up its sleeve. I mean, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Unity's audio engine. Compared to engines like Wwise and Fmods, and even Unreal's audio engine, Unity is really quite bare bones. But it does have one thing that's really quite nice and has some potential to do interesting things, and that is the audio mixer. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to add an audio mixer to our project, and then I'm going to set it up so that we can blend between effectively different effects chains. So let's see. So I'm going to start by creating a mixer. I'm just going to call it main mixer. And let's see, make this a bit bigger. So to begin with, your mixer always has a master fader. This is just the overall level of your project. But what I want to do is I want to add some extra channels. So the audio mixer in Unity basically resembles a traditional mixer that you might find in the recording studio. Specifically, it resembles a digital mixer. I'm going to come back to that in a second because that's quite an important distinction. But the first thing I need to do is set up some channels for the specific things that I want to do. For some reason, even though Unity uses the metaphor of a mixing desk for its audio mixer, it doesn't call its channels channels, it calls them groups, which seems like a strange choice to me, but that's fine. So first off, I'm just going to create a specific group for Barbalith, because that's the thing that I really want to focus on today. I want to give Barbalith its own channel so that I can... Well, I should tell you what I want to do. So what I want to do is I want to, when the player gets to this final space, I want to feed the sound from Barbaliths through a chain of audio effects, and then manipulate those effects as the player basically walks up this kind of spiral ramp. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've created this Barbalith channel. So if I come over to my Barbalith object, now what I want to do is I want to set its output, because by default audio sources, they just output directly to your sound card, so they bypass any audio mixers you have, but that's not actually what I want to do here. So I'm going to feed it to my Barbalith channel. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I think I also want a separate channel, so I'm going to add a channel for any reverb style effects. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to, where are we? SFX reverb. And I actually want this, can I move this up? Yeah, no, wait, does it not let me? Ah, there we go. Yeah, I want it to come before the attenuation. So the attenuation is just this volume slider. So let's see. So for some reason that I don't understand, hang on, let me just quickly. I'm afraid you're going to hear me complaining a bit this stream about Unity's audio implementation. So one thing that I really don't understand is if you add an audio reverb filter component, you get this handy list of presets, right? Which is really nice because you have all these sliders and it's kind of a pain to go through these and set these individually. So having like presets is really useful. And you'll maybe notice that these parameters are basically the same as the parameters you see here, but for some reason, while we get a nice list of presets for this version of the reverb, we don't get any presets for the one that we put in an audio mixer. I don't understand that. It's a pain. Anyway, what that means is effectively that I'm probably going to spend a bit of time fine-tuning these parameters until it sounds okay, which is kind of a pain because I'd rather just set a preset and then work from there. But it's fine, we'll work around it. So I'm going to treat this specific channel as a traditional auxiliary bus, which effectively is a separate channel that runs in parallel to the main channel. So in this case, our main channel is Barbalith. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a send. Let's put that there. And I'm going to add a receive to my reverb channel. So now I'm going to send the signal from this channel to the auxiliary reverb. So what we're going to have effectively is two channels that are both have the same input. So Barbalith has the input from a Barbalith object. Aux Reverb via the Barbalith channel has that same audio input. But the difference is the reverb channel is getting fed through a reverb effect. So we hear so on this channel, all we'll hear is the effect of that reverb channel, of the reverb, not the original input sound. Anyway, I think what I want to do to begin with, I just want to run the game and then just see if... Is that us? There we go. Okay, so what is happening here? Oh, hang on a sec. I want to do this. So what's happening is I forgot to send any signal to our reverb. So I'm just going to make it so that we're only listening to the reverb. So I guess this is another complaint I have. That sounds so metallic. Unity does not have a particularly pleasant sounding reverb, so let's see if I can make it sound less metallic. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, see, now I'm listening to it, I'm not entirely sure that a reverb is necessarily the most effective effect on this drone. Some kind of interesting effects I can get from just playing with these parameters. And if I then bring Marvelous back in. I wish I'd added a command to just fix the camera while I'm doing this. It's a bit weird having it reacting like this. Okay, you know what, I'm going to stop. That wasn't nearly as effective as I thought it was going to be. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to mute that channel for the time being. And I'm gonna see what happens if I add some different effects in. So let's start with some chorus, and again I'm just going to do the same thing. I kind of need to listen to these before I get a good sense of what I actually want from this. Clearly a bug there that we need to fix. Okay, so what's going on here? So the chorus should kind of flip actually. is that? It's only coming out in one ear. Also, is this not muted? Okay, well that doesn't help things. Right? Okay, that's weird. Anyway, let's get back to that chorus. So what was happening there? Not sure what delay's actually doing here. That's a strange one. Okay, here we go. This is getting a bit better. Oh. Wait. What are these? I don't understand what these mix taps are doing. Does tap 3 not do anything? Kind of like this, and this is kind of an interesting effect. Okay, I can't actually. Cool. So, actually, can I just add effects while this is running? Let me just bypass this effect. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Interesting. I'm not sure that we need more distortion, to be honest. Let's try something else. Is there a pitch shift or something? Okay. This feels like I feel like I can do something with this. I wonder what max channels is. Interesting effects. Okay, I think I can do something with this. Bypass you. What else do we have? Got Echo? I don't know how well Echo is going to hear Echo. It's just a constant tone. It's really not the most useful effect here. I don't know what max channels is. Echo, what else? I mean, let's go for a low pass. I think we can do something with a low pass filter, right? So, 1, 2, 3. Bypass that. Oh, nope. I think I want 4 effects if possible. What up for that? Parametric. I think actually, hang on, let me do that. Okay, I'm really glad that it saves any changes you make in the inspector for the audio mixer while play mode is on. So I think what I'm actually going to do. Oh, wait. Oh, what have I done? Oh, it's bypass. That's why I can't change anything. So I think what I'm going to do. So basically, yeah. I should explain. I think I'm actually going to get rid of the reverb channel because I think as long as Barbalith is just a drone, the reverb channel is kind of unhelpful. You kind of need something that a bit more than a drone for that to really work, I think. So I'm just going to delete this channel entirely. I'm just going to work with a single channel for today. So let's see. So I should explain what I want to do. So one of the things that makes Unity's audio mixer potentially quite sophisticated is it has there's this specific function you can call called audio mixer.transition to snapshots. So in fact, I should explain snapshots. So if we come back to Unity first. So this is how this is what Unity's audio mixer gets from digital hardware mixers, which is this concept of snapshots. And a snapshot in a mixer is basically a snapshot of all of the mixer's parameters at a specific point in time. So we can create a bunch of these snapshots and we can store them. And then using this function, we can blend between multiple snapshots at the same time. And specifically, we can blend between them using an array of like weights. So what I want to do is I want to effectively place some points around this spiral. And each of these points is going to correspond to a specific snapshot. So the closer the player is to one of these points, the higher the weighting we give that particular snapshot. And as they move from that snapshot as they move away from that snapshot towards another one, we change that weighting. So we're effectively going to be blending between multiple different snapshots. So as the player walks around this spiral, the idea is that we're going to be blending between all these different, or these specific four effects. So chorus, pitch shifter, low pass filter, and parametric EQ. So that's the idea. I've never actually done this in Unity, so it might be a disaster. We're not going to know until we try, but it's something I really want to try because I think it could be really interesting. So, okay, so first of all, let's create some snapshots. So I'm going to unbypass all of these. You know what? I'm going to keep this snapshot because this has the parameters that I want, I think. This is the parameters that I want the full effects to be. So I'm going to keep this snapshot as it is. I'll probably come back and change it once I've created some more snapshots. But I'm just going to create an individual snapshot that is basically the full version of a single effect. So the first one's going to be chorus. Oops. Snapshot. I'll just quickly create all of these. Then we'll go pitch shifter. Snapshot. Low pass filter. Snapshot. And EQ. Snapshot. So what I want to do for each of these, for the chorus one, I want the chorus as it is. I want the pitch shifter instead to be back to its default, so no pitch shifting. I want the low pass filter to be its default, so no filtering. And I want the parametric EQ to similarly be, oops, that's not correct apparently. I guess that should be 1. Okay, yeah. And I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to move this center frequency. I think because it's going to blend between snapshots, I think it could be really cool for when we get to the EQ snapshot to have the center frequency at a different setting to the other snapshots. So let's make this 3000 Hertz. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for each of these. So first of all, chorus dry mix 1, so no chorus effect, because we want the pitch shifter here. I'm going to leave it at 1.06. I might change that after I've kind of seen how this works. then 1 and 3 kilohertz. Then low pass snapshot. So again, full dry mix for the chorus, no wet mix, pitch shifter set to 1, low pass set to that, EQ 3 kilohertz and no gain, so 1. And then lastly for the EQ, just doing this. And okay, so we have our snapshots, and if I switch between these, you'll see that the various parameters change. So this, I'm going to rename this initial snapshot to be dry. So this is this. I may as well keep the naming convention I've used so far, so dry snapshot. So this is going to be the default, so we don't want any effects active when we're in the dry snapshot. So just quickly, let's just check that that's sounding okay and we're not getting any weird effects happening. Oh, we are getting some weird effects happening. I cannot hear anything. Oh, wait. I know what I've done wrong. My dry snapshot has no dry mix for the chorus. Let's try that again. Okay. I think that's fine. I'm just realizing that I do also have this set to let's change our attenuation, and I guess I'm going to change the attenuation for all of these. I didn't mean to actually leave it less than 0. I might need to come back to this if our levels are getting a bit weird. Okay, so we have that. Now I guess the next step is to, well, I should create a script to actually handle all of this stuff. So let's see, scripts, and this is going to be called, what am I going to call this script? Barbelith snapshot blender. Let's go with that. So let's see. So what we're going to need? We're going to need. Well, I'm going to get rid of start. I don't think we need start. First, though, we're going to need an array of transforms. So we're going to use this array of transforms basically to calculate the player's distance to those points I was talking about. So each point is going to correspond to a specific snapshot. And yeah, so just call this points. We're going to need an array of audio mixer snapshots. Now, are those just, oh, they're called audio mixer snapshots. Hang on, what do I need to, oh, Unity Engine.audio. I need to include. There we go. And I think I also want to, what do I want to do? I think, no, this is fine, this will work. So we've got these snapshots, the points. That's really all we need. So now I just need to calculate the player's distance to each of these points, and we'll use that to set the weights. So okay, oh yeah, I guess we need the player's transform. Yep. So okay, I'm going to create a private weights array. In fact, there's good. Yeah, we will use start after all. And this is where I forget how C# arrays work. So is it new float points dot length? Is that how you do it? Is that how you create an array of a specific size? And I guess to begin with, I'm just going to set the weights all to 0. Yeah, my fingers are not behaving. Okay, so in every update, we want to update our weights array, and then we want to feed that to, other thing we need is we need an audio mixer. We need a reference to our mixer. So I guess to begin with, what I'll do is I'm just going to say mixer dot, now which one is it? Actually, you know what I might do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that to begin with, we only want the first snapshot. So our first snapshot is going to be, oh, I forgot I was going to do that. Our first snapshot is going to, come on. First snapshot is going to be the dry snapshot, right? So to begin with, we're just going to set it so that we want the dry snapshot when the player first enters that final zone. So what we're going to do is we've got snapshots, and then we've just got weights. And in this case, we can just snap to it, because we're going to start in that dry snapshot. This just means that the way this is going to work is this script is only going to become active when the player enters that final space. So to begin with, we're just going to make sure that we're definitely in the correct snapshot. We're just going to snap right to it, which we shouldn't hear because we should already be in that snapshot. And then in update, we're going to continually call this function with new weights. So so let's see, points.length. And yeah, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to store a temporary array of the distances between the player and every one of these points. And then we'll use that to calculate weights at the end. Have I misunderstood how? I don't understand. Hang on. Sorry, this is where my knowledge of C# is kind of failing me. Yeah, initialize array. Float temp, new float. Why is it complaining about that? That's what I've done, right? Have I missed something? I wonder if it's let me see if it's still complaining when nope, it's still complaining. The rank specifier. Oh, yep. I'm thinking of C, not C#. Okay, never mind. Or I guess C++, not C#. Never mind. That's fixed. So basically, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to say temp I equals player dot, nope, oh, maybe that is what I want. Yeah, player dot position dot oh, actually, hang on. Probably points dot So points I dot position minus player dot position, and then we'll just get the magnitude of that. Is that a function? Oh, is that? Oh, okay. And that's our distance. So we look through each of our. So first of all, we look through each of our points and we get the distance of all of those. In fact, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to store the maximum distance. Yes, so set that to 0. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to go through and basically normalize all of these values. So what that means is we want our weightings to go from 0 to 1, I think. I don't think the documentation actually mentions what the weights should be in terms of range, but I'm going to assume they're meant to be 0 to 1. And we want them to, so that's easy to do because we've got the maximum value. So what we're going to do is int I equals 0, I less than points dot length. I don't like that formatting, but that's fine. So yeah, so we're going to do temp I divided by max. But that's going to weight them the wrong way because we want them to be weighted so that when the player is right next to a point, that point is the loudest. At the moment, though, that point is going to be the quietest because we're going to be weighting it close to 0. So we actually want to weight it close to 1. So the next thing we want to do is just flip temp. Just set it to 0.1. Sorry, temp is 1 minus temp, basically. And I'm going to try this. I'm hoping I've understood how that Unity function works, because if I've not, then this is probably not going to work very well. But let's see, snapshots. Oops, hang on. In fact, what we actually want is we want weights to be equal to. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, let's just get rid of this temporary variable. We don't need to be this. We don't need this temporary array. We can just use weights the whole way through, can't we? That makes more sense. Then we're not creating temporary arrays that we don't need. Okay. So I think that's all I need for this script. So I've set it to because we're calling update every. I assume every, I assume we're calling it 60 times a second. I don't want a long time to transition because that's going to create a very kind of laggy effect. And in fact, now that I think about it, why don't we set this to 1/60? So I'm just assuming. So I'm kind of hard coding a 60 FPS frame rate, which is probably shouldn't be hard coding that, but what this should do, fingers crossed, is blend the audio correctly from one frame to the next. It's probably not quite going to be correct because the audio thread will be running at a different rate to the visual thread, but that's fine. We'll just try it and see if it sounds okay. The main thing I want is I don't want to hear like zipper noise as the mixer like jumps from one set of settings to the next set of settings. I want it to blend smoothly. Okay, so let's see. So I guess first of all, what I want is so what I'm going to do is if I come to here, I think I'm going to start by just creating a parent game object. So this will be snapshot blends. And I'm going to add that script I just created to this object. And then let's see. Well, first of all, we can add our player transform straight away, and we can add our mixer. And then I want to add individual points, right? I want to add individual points for each of these kind of snapshot settings. Before I do that, I want to check where the player spawns in. Now the player spawns in, that will be here. So the player spawns in at 601, 0. So I want to have an initial point at 601 and 0. So this is going to be our dry snapshot, or our dry snapshot point. And I'm just realizing that when I was saying the player spawns in at 601, 0, that's in global coordinates. So our void is, oh, okay. So actually our dry snapshot is kind of where it needs to be. I'm just going to move it up so it's exactly where the player starts. So this should mean that initially we hear the dry snapshot at its maximum volume before the player kind of moves closer. So, okay, so we got our dry snapshot. Let's add another one. And I've forgotten what I called the other. So what we've got? We've got chorus. And we've got pitch shifter. And low pass. And EQ. So at the moment these are all in the same place, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to position them, let's see, so hang on. I want you kind of up here and kind of close to, in fact, how about we position it on the spiral staircase, kind of halfway up. So that'll be our chorus, and then our pitch shifter we want in the center of the spiral staircase, I think. Yeah, that's close enough. And then over kind of here. Again, I guess we want these all kind of at a similar height. So let me just grab my chorus one. Let's set, oh, Y is 11. That's easy. Do the same thing here. And then, right, low pass. And Y is 11. I want you kind of here, I think. And then lastly, EQ, where we'll set Y to 11, or kind of here. That kind of out here. Okay, so I kind of feel like I should maybe add some things so I can view these in the editor a bit better. Oh, it's fine. We'll leave it to that because I want to test this bit of view. And so what I'm hoping we're going to see is we're going to see these parameters change as I walk around this spiral staircase. Yeah, okay, let's see if I've understood how this works and if I've got it right. I might not have got it right. Well, I don't hear anything. And nothing appears to be changing. Wait, no. Have I know why. I've not finished setting up my script, have I? I've not created anything in my arrays. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. So we've got our dry snapshot. Nope, hang on. Chorus, shifter, low pass, EQ. Then we'll have all of these. We'll have a similar number of 5 snapshots, starting with dry, chorus, pitch shifter, low pass, and EQ. Okay, now let's try again. Have I got this right? Oh, weird, something's happening, but it's not good. Okay, what was happening there? So I saw the resonance was flickering. No, like there's no reason for the resonance to be flickering there, right? Okay, here's what I'm going to try. What I'm wondering is, are we calling this function too fast? Is that what the problem is? That's my first thought, especially since the snapshots themselves, there's nothing obviously wrong here. I don't understand why resonance was flickering like that, because all of these snapshots have the same setting for resonance, so it shouldn't be flickering. They were clearly changing, so I think the core idea is basically right, but something weird is happening. So let's start by I'm going to start by just kind of rate limiting this weighting calculation. In fact, sorry, let's make that. Let's go really slowly. The mixer gives us the ability to blend gently from one snapshot to another. So I'm going to set it so that we only update it every 30 frames. So this is going to be frame limited. So I should probably, if this works, I'll change this to not be frame limited, but that's fine. So I'm going to do minus limiter. Then if not in fact, if limiter, as soon as we hit 0, we update our mixer, and we reset our limiter variable to 30. And in that case, we can take half a second to blend from one to the other, right? In fact, let's maybe make it just a bit below. Just a bit below half a second, just in case there's something weird happening where the audio thread doesn't quite know what to happen if it's halfway through a transition before we've already triggered the next one. We can try this. Okay. Okay, still doing something weird as well. here it's doing weird. Oh, I guess it's the occlusion code is coming in now too. Ooh. So I mean that end bit is clearly broken, but it's also kind of cool. But why is it why is it glitching when we're moving? I don't understand why these sliders can flicker too. I probably need to. I feel like we should get rid of the proximity messages because they kind of confuse the console. Anyway, it's fine. Oh, so the sound does weird things. So it's interesting when it's not when we're not moving, it's fine, right? That resonance has disappeared. Why is the resonance slightly disappeared? All sorts of weird interactions with these effects. My next thought is, what if who would it be? Are we using too much processor? So let's take a look at this when the profiler's running. I don't really know why it would be using extra CPU power when it's blending between snapshots, but maybe I just don't understand how they've implemented. Okay, so we're not moving. I guess the orange line, that's the CPU. That's cool. That seems quite high, huh? It's not spiking. It's not obviously spiking in any way when I move, even though we're hearing glitches. Ooh. Oh wow. Oh, okay. The profiler gives us a lot of information, huh? Well, let's come over. I guess here is probably a reasonable. What does it tell us? Does it tell us audio? What are these? I guess it would be the audio mixer thread, right? That's likely to be the issue. And I guess I'm assuming that these chunks, these are when it is blending. Actually, can we test that? So when it's blending, it's doing that over the course of half a second. Oh, and oh, well, this chunk lasts almost a second. No, sorry, no, it doesn't. No, this chunk doesn't last anywhere close to almost a second. It lasts almost a millisecond. Okay, that's not. There's no obvious. It doesn't look like there's an obvious thing happening. Okay, I'm kind of just flailing about at this point. I don't really know what's going on, or why. Okay, I'm going to close this. And I'm going to do some quick Googling. Have other people encountered this before? I mean, it might just be that I'm I'm misusing it. I don't know. Oh, well, that's not helpful. Um, hmm. See if Game Dev Beginner has the answer. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, okay, this is what we're hearing. Oh, really? If this fixes it, that is going to be that seems ridiculous, but okay. So according to GameDevBeginner.com, the solution is to turn your volume down by a tiny amount. I don't know. This seems unlikely to fix the problem, but maybe. Still need that. don't understand. Okay, I still don't understand. That did seem to be slightly better, but it wasn't exactly right, was it? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to do a test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to comment this out. And I'm just going to quickly set up some tests where I'm just going to trigger the transitions myself and see if we still hear those pops. Actually, oh, key code. What are Unity key codes? Let's go with keycode.space. That's simple. Then, oh, actually, hang on. That's not what I want, is it? Let's go with alpha 1 up to alpha 5. So here we're going to do two, three, four, five. Because it might be if this works better. So if this works without clicking, then what I might end up doing is I might cheat a wee bit and just set up some trigger boxes so that we only trigger a transition at specific points. Because I'm still wondering if the problem. Wait, how many of these do we have? Oh yeah, 6. Wait, no, we've got 5. Hang on, I've got too many weights, haven't I? There we go. Yeah, because I'm still wondering if the problem is simply that we're calling transition to snapshots too frequently. But I don't know if that's true. Oh. It's just, it is a bit of a shame if I'm having to do it so that we trigger at a specific point, we won't get that same blend based on the player's position. So, I don't know. Let's find out. Oh wait, I shouldn't have used alpha 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm already using those. Oh, hang on, I need to stop. That's going to break things, isn't it? Let's grab keypad instead. Okay. So, see, this is working just fine, so I think that is exactly what the problem is. keys. So, okay. Let's see. I wonder if I've missed something. I wonder if maybe it's... Am I getting the weights wrong? Oh, wait. What if max is... What if max is 0? Could max be 0? I don't think it could. That would be really weird. Max. Oh. Let's see if we get any messages in the console. Max should not be less than or equal to 0. That should never happen. That might explain a glitch if it was doing that for some reason. Okay, so max is not. But what I might do, I mean, we're only running this code every half a second, so it's yeah. I'll just stick that log statement in there, and we'll see what max is giving us. It's not giving us anything weird, right? When you hear those glitches, max isn't jumping about the place. It's a fairly consistent set of values. They don't move in big jumps, so okay, so it's not that max is wrong. Let's see what our weights look like. Maybe it's something to do with our weights. Can I do this? Oops. Oh, do I need to do two? No, I don't need to do toString. Oh. Oh, can I not? I have to. How do I create a log message that has all of the weights in a single line? Is it clever enough to understand this? Oh, it is. Okay. Put some spaces in. 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's higher. So, oh. So it seemed to me like the glitches correspond to these, which is no, maybe not. See, what I was thinking was maybe the problem was this final 0, but actually others have 0 and it wasn't glitching at the start, so I don't think it's the zeros that's the problem. Although I am a bit confused about some of these. My code being sensible. Is there always 1, 0 in these? Well, of course, there's always going to be 1, 0 because that's the one that we're closest to, and we're blending according to the nearest one. No, sorry, we're scaling it from 0 to 1, and then flipping it. But I don't think, I think these are changing at a fairly reasonable rate. So I don't think that's actually the problem. I don't think that's obviously triggering those weird glitches. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to update the rate at which I'm going to lower the rate at which we trigger these blends. And now it's only going to trigger it once every second. That's the idea. I should probably be doing this in fixed update rather than update. Because that would guarantee me, I think, 60 frames per second. I should probably make that change. Still glitching. Well, anyway, let's start by changing update to fixed update so that we know that this function is being called at a regular rate. I don't think that's going to fix anything. I don't understand why it glitches when we call it automatically versus when we just trigger it via a key press. Why does that make a difference? Hang on a sec. That fix about the attenuation. Oh. See if this was the problem. See if the problem is that I just forgot to update the other snapshots. I'm going to be very upset. Okay, let's just check. Okay, let's quickly check. Has that fixed it? I don't really know why it would, because if that was the problem, then we'd have still heard it when I triggered it via key presses. Weird pulsing kind of effect. Oops. This is very much not blending in the way that I would expect it to blend. And I think I'm probably going to have to leave it here, which is very frustrating because I don't want to leave it broken, but maybe I'm going to have to leave it broken because it's getting on a bit and I don't seem to be any closer to a fix. Okay, so So why does it work when I trigger it via key press, but not when I trigger it otherwise? Hmm. Only thing I can think. I don't know. I have these 1 values. Does it make a difference if I have some like random values like that? Does that change things? Is it that do I need my weights to add up to 1? Sorry, this is probably not a very interesting stream, just watching me stare in confusion at Unity for an hour and 20 minutes. Oh wait, hang on. Just uncommented the thing that I need to leave commented if I want to test that. Okay. I'm going to test this, and if it doesn't make any difference, I'm going to call it a night. Yeah. Didn't get any glitches with that, so I don't know what the problem is. Let's just do that, and if I leave it like this, it'll be fine. We won't hear the glitches. So okay, yeah. Apologies for such a frustrating stream. I was really hoping this would just work and I wouldn't have to worry about weird glitches in the audio that don't make sense to me. But I'll have a play about behind the scenes, and maybe by Jan's stream next week I'll have fixed it. Anyway, hopefully that it was at least slightly interesting. And Jan will be back next week. I think we're kind of getting to the end of this project now, so I don't know how many more streams we'll have left. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching if you managed to stick around till the end of this. And yeah, I'll possibly see you in a couple of weeks.